In this video, we're going to go over program 8.1 that appears in page 108 from your textbook. So before I go over the program, I want to show you something. So inside SAS University Edition, my folders, I have copied all the files that we're going to be using for the examples that appear in the book. I strongly recommend you to do the same thing in your computer so you don't have to create the files yourself or download them every single time. So where can you download this example files from? Well, you can go to the website of the book. If you type in Google an introduction to SAS University Edition, or by Ron Cody, so an introduction to SAS University Edition. Here is the website. So you click there, and if you click here, example code and data, you can download a zip file with the code and data, the example code and data. And then you can just open it or unzip it inside my folders. So you have every single example file there. Okay, so that's just a tip. Now, anyway, so as you can see here, my folders, I already have all these files which we're going to be using for the different examples in the book. So we're going to be dealing with, as I said, program 8.1, which is reading data with delimiters blanks. So we're going to be reading a very specific type of file. It's a TXT file, and the delimiting character or the delimiting symbol between variables will be a blank space. We already did this last chapter, but again, we're dealing with this several times so you can see the different types of files that you can upload into SAS and how to upload them. So let me go to the file, the actual file, blank delimiter txt. As you can see, the first variable is just an ID, and then we have a space, then we have the name, that's the second variable, the first name, then we have a space, we have the last name of the person, another space, gender, another space, age, another space. This is the code for the state. Okay, this is New Jersey, North Carolina, Texas, etc. So as you can see, it's a pretty small data set. It only has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 observations. The important thing here is that you're going to upload this into SAS, and you're going to create a data set with some name for this data, right? And you have to keep in mind that the character that is separating the variables is a space. So it's a space delimited type of data, okay? Or blank delimited, space delimited, blank delimited type of data. Okay, so let me close this. So this is the program. I wrote it already, so we save time there. I'm gonna call the data set blanks. Okay, so data blanks, semicolon, very important. Then the infile statement, we have seen this before. It tells SAS where to find the file that I want to upload. In this case, inside my folders, the name of the file is blank delimiter, delimiters, blank delimiter without the s .txt, and then I have this word here, or this statement, or this option, whatever you want to call it, miss over, and then semicolon. What does this mean, the miss over? Well, basically, if you look at the data set here, the second row stops here. It doesn't show the age of the person nor the state. So if we don't put the miss over, SAS will continue reading and it will make this into the age and this into the state. So it won't realize that we have two missing observations here. Because usually when you have a missing observation, you put a period, a dot, right? A period. So, but in this case, whomever, well, I mean, this is done intentionally, but whomever does this forgot to put the dot, or the period, the two periods that you should have here to say, well, we're missing this variables here. We're missing the observations. Okay, so that's why you have to put the miss over, so SAS realizes that no, okay, we're missing these two observations. Now, the informat statement here is basically telling SAS that my first variable, which is an ID, it's called the ID variable, is a character variable, and it could have up to 11 characters. And then this is the way you write it. You put a dollar symbol, which stands for character variable, and then 11, that's the number of characters, and then you put a dot, right? A period. So, and then you have first and last. These two are also character variables. Both of them, we're going to give them up to 15 characters. Same syntax. And then gender, another character variable, and we give it 1 character. And then the other character variable that we have here is state code, and we give it 2 characters only. And then semicolon. So this informat statement basically informs SAS that we have some character variables and how many characters we're giving to each of them, right? Now, input, well, basically we have seen this before. The input statement tells SAS the names of the variables as they appear in the data set, in the order that they appear. So we have the ID, first name, last name, gender, age, and state. So ID first, last, gender, age, and state code. That's how we're calling these variables. And then semicolon. So let me run this. Well, and then we have the proc print. This is basically going to print the data set blanks, which is the result of uploading all of this and naming the variables like this. So let's see what we get. So let's run it with the little running man. The log, I mean, if you go to the log, it will tell you whether you have any errors or not. In this case, we didn't have any errors. So, and then the results, this, right? So we have, everything went fine. We have the ID column. This, the observation column, that's automatically generated by SAS, right? The ID column, you read it perfectly. First names, last names, gender, state code. As you can see, SAS, because we had this miss over statement, was able to recognize this, that we were missing the state code and the age for the second observation. And then since we had a dot for the age of the fifth observation, it was able to recognize that as a blank as well. But this this was fine. We didn't have the dot for this too, which we should have, but we didn't. So thanks to the miss over option that we wrote here, SAS was able to see that. And then the names were correctly assigned, age, state code, gender, so everything is fine. And that's program 8.1.